because Section 4 sets the stage for legal government surveillance of all U.S. citizens, total control over your bank accounts and purchases, and the ability to silence all dissenting voices for good. In this new war on freedom, the Dems aren't coming for your guns. No, they're thinking much bigger than that. They're coming for your money. And it's already started. Hi, my name is Jim Rickards. I'm a former advisor to the Pentagon, the White House, Congress, the CIA, and the Department of Defense. I'm also an attorney, investment banker, and author of 7 books on currencies and international economics. When places like Fox, CNBC, or Bloomberg want to know what's about to shake up the global economy, they call me. Most of all, like you, I'm a proud American patriot. The disturbing predictions you're about to see are based on my independent research and my contacts in the intelligence community. I've never made this kind of public announcement before, but it's my duty to pull the alarm. This is what I believe Section 4 of Biden's order means for all Americans. The U.S. dollar will be made obsolete. Soon your cash will be confiscated or will simply be worthless paper. The cash currency we have now will be replaced with a new programmable digital token. But the truth is, few outside the deep state recognize Biden's move for what it really is. If my predictions are correct, this is so much more sinister than simply replacing the cash dollar with a new digitized version. Friend, this new currency will allow for total control of all American citizens, because every digital dollar will be programmed by the government. That means they will be able to turn on or turn off your money at will. Not only that, but they'll be able to track and record every purchase you make. This is very different than online banking and has nothing to do with crypto. I'll explain everything in a moment, but what you need to know now is AOC has already publicly declared her support for a government-controlled spyware ammo, or survival tokens programmed at the source. They could be turned on or off. Began an era of total government control and surveillance. This is not hyperbole. This would dramatically expand the power and influence of the federal government, essentially acting as a new type of spyware. With Biden bucks, the government will be able to force you to comply with its agenda, because if you don't, they could turn off your money. This won't be like freezing a bank account. It will be so much easier, because Biden bucks will be digital tokens programmed at the source. They could be turned on or off at will with just a keystroke, and they could be reprogrammed at any time. With Biden's secret surveillance army running the show, the anti-freedom implications are almost limitless. For example, Biden bucks could be programmed to allow only certain kinds of purchases. Imagine what this new world could look like. You want to keep an internal combustion engine car? Your digital dollars suddenly won't pay for gas. Instead, you can be forced to buy an electric vehicle. That's just the tip of the fascist iceberg. They can force you to get vaccinated. They can force you into solar. They can force you to use less water or heat. They can force you to eat fake plant-based meat. They can control where you are allowed to travel. They can stop you purchasing certain items like guns, ammo, or survival supplies. They can control to which candidates you're allowed to donate. And they'll know every single place you spend your money, forever. America would become a surveillance state like China or North Korea. Every single aspect of your life could be controlled because they'll control your money. In fact, I fully expect them to implement a social credit rating system like in China. Say the wrong thing on social media, buy the wrong thing, subscribe to the wrong news channel, give money to the wrong candidate, and your rating drops. Suddenly your Biden bucks are frozen or disappearing from your account. This is already happening in China. There, a low social score gets you officially labeled untrustworthy. They can take away your ability to travel, restrict your internet access, deny your family the best schools or jobs. They may even take away your pets. I'm not kidding. All this is going on today. But that's China, an oppressive communist. Shift power away from individuals to the state. Even an institution as conservative as the International Monetary Fund admits these new currencies are the future of money. Make no mistake, no matter the outcome of any future elections, this is happening. The storm is closing in. If my research and predictions are correct, soon there will be no more cash. The dollar we know will be dead and buried, replaced by programmable Biden bucks. The Secret Surveillance Army has been working on this for years. The U.S. Federal Reserve has been quietly partnering with scientists at MIT to develop a digital currency to replace the dollar. They call this initiative Project Hamilton. Then this year, the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, the clearinghouse for U.S. stocks, bonds, and other security trades, quietly launched Project Lithium. Project Lithium is testing how a digital dollar will work in the financial markets once the current dollar is dead. Project Lithium is partnering with the Digital Dollar Project, a joint effort started in 2020 between Accenture, U.S. regulators, and tech leaders to create the digital dollar. Then on March 29, 2022, just days after Biden's Order 14027 was signed, Representative Stephen F. Lynch introduced H.R. 7231, the Electronic Currency and Secure Hardware Act. This act, co-sponsored by 4 other Democrats, orders the Secretary of the Treasury to develop a digital dollar. I believe we'll see the first rollout of the new digital dollar, Biden bucks, in 2023 or 2024, and it's right on schedule. You see, about every 40 to 50 years, there's a major disruption in U.S. monetary policy that increases government power at the expense of citizen rights. The Gold Reserve Act of 1934 was the first currency quake. In that shocking act of fascism, Democrat President Roosevelt ordered all U.S. citizens to hand in their gold. Yes, private.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to say, Kal Halal Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Merchah HaKudash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us this truth and rule well, and Shalom to the hopeful elect, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Merchah HaKudash, Barakatham. It's the brother Kazak coming back at it again with another lesson. All right, and, Salaki for like the long, intro, the long clip at the front, just making sure, to get all the information out there, man. What you just saw, was a clip of, one of those, people in financial positions, basically breaking down, and hold on, let me get this thing off battery saving, so don't interrupt the lesson, what I'm saying, but basically, breaking down what these devils are about to do, you know what I'm saying, which, you heard them, they want, total control, by doing away with the regular dollar, the currency that we're using right now, so it's a physical currency, and they want to do away with that with a digital currency. And this is something that, Salaki for my stammering lips, but this is something that we've been telling people for years now, man, and it's becoming, manifest, you know what I'm saying? And some people may say like, oh, what's wrong with that? You got people that advocate for this, you know what I'm saying? But ultimately, man, it's at the cost of this devil, having full control and ultimately putting his brand upon you, which is, the CHIP. You know what I mean? So this is where, Esau finally, you know what I'm saying, rolling out with his enterprise, concerning this device right here, and as you see, he listed how they could he listed how they could control what you do literally. If you do something that's going against the grain, they have the ability to basically turn your money off. It goes as far as to even control what you can buy and what you cannot buy. And this is the type of control that this devil wants, man. Because he has a God complex. He is not enough, for him to be, at the top of the world and control, governments, control currencies. He wants, complete control over the people, man. Ultimately because, he don't want to, he don't want the people to rise up and, take him out of power. You know what I'm saying? And also too, because they have a God complex, they covet, to be as the Most High. You know what I'm saying? They don't just want to, be on top and then, just, you know what I'm saying, kind of, loosely control the people. Well, not really loosely control the people, but, they don't just want, they're not satisfied, with what they have. They have to go further and ultimately, control the individual person in the society that he wants to usher in, man. But that's, what I'm saying, what this devil is going to do. But ultimately, he's going to be taken out the way, man. As it is written in the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2. All right. And we're just going to, go into this, All right, set the foundation, why this devil is doing this, because the scriptures give you understanding as to why, he's coming out with these unrighteous, these wicked devices. When we say devices, due to the fact that, you got algorithms set up to, catch certain words, certain phrases, and they'll take your video down. I'm already on one strike with this channel, so I'm really, gonna be, pushing the backup channel. But anyways, all right, so 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and 3, and it reads, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. All right, so it goes into that day shall not come, except there be a falling away first. Just to go into that, that's talking about us, losing our identity. You know what I'm saying? Which we have, in the past. You know what I'm saying? In since we've been here in Babylon, we've been given bywords. You know what I'm saying? They didn't tell us who we are as the children of Israel, so-called Black, Latinos, Native Americans. They never told us who we were. That we're Hebrew Israelites of our respective tribes. They never did that. So that's what the falling away, was. You know what I'm saying? Being in this captivity and having the truth and our identity, stripped from us, and us losing that, through migration and the diaspora, intermingling among the nations. You know what I'm saying? Generation after generation, and you're gonna lose, your roots, if you will. All right. But going into the key point, with the topic of the lesson, it says, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. All right. And that's who's that talking about? That's talking about Esau, Edom. Okay. He has been revealed as the wicked man. We the only ones, telling the world who this devil is, that the so-called white man, his true biblical nationality is Esau, Edom, and he is the wicked. All right. Going into, Baruch, or is it Baruch or is it Malachi? I think it is Malachi. Salaki if I misquoted it. Let me see. Malachi. Let me see. Yep, it has to be Malachi. All right, and that's Malachi chapter 1 and 4. All right, just, touch the quick point where it says, whereas Edom saith, Edom, so-called white man, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushua of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh Hashem Yahushua hath indignation forever. So the scriptures refer to this devil as the wicked man. All right, this devil is the wicked. The so-called white man is the wicked. Okay, so continuing on, and it reads, all right, verse 4, and this is the key point: who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. Okay, and that's what this devil wants, man. He wants complete control, you know what I'm saying, over the people. That's what this devil, is fiending for, and this is what they're rolling in with. All right, these are the devices that they're going in with, and the scriptures talk about this, man. All right, but the scriptures talk about that, when he does this, all right, guess what? He's gonna be cast down. All right, several scriptures go into that. Okay, and we go, to my favorite precept, book of Psalms chapter 9, verse 15. All right, and we're gonna start right there. It says the heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made. All right, so what's that pit that they made? Let's continue reading. In the net which they hid is their own foot taken. Right, so this pit that they made, this net which they hid is their own foot taken, and that's by way of these agendas that they're coming out with. All right, because best believe what that man described, all right, is an agenda. It's an agenda to take away, to do away with the current currency, that we have, which is dollar, which is a physical currency to a certain extent, because you could physically, use it. All right, but it's still a fiat currency. It's still a Federal Reserve note that's not backed by anything, which they did away with that, sometime in, if I'm not mistaken, 19 around that time period. All right, it's lucky if I got it wrong, but around that time period, that's when these devils, did away with the currencies being backed by gold. And it shows you how, it's progressive. Every every number of years that happen, they slowly, chip away, at the rights of the people, and they use the currencies to do so. And why? Because they want that full control, man. All right. You saw, what you saw. They can control, what you buy. They can control who you can watch, who you cannot watch. It doesn't look like a bright future for you Babylonians, man. But guess what? It's a future that will not be lived out. All right. Verse 16. Yahweh Shem Yahushai is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Hagayan Shalah. All right. So that's what is getting ready to happen. Okay. He's going to be ensnared because what's he doing? He's going to ultimately, how is he going to, transition from a physical currency to a non-physical currency, to a cashless society? How is he going to do that? Through an economic collapse. All right. That's why the man said, if you replay it back, and really you could just watch the whole thing too. It's on the Instagram. It's by a brother, the real Hebrew Israelite. Right there, and you'll find it. You know what I'm saying? You'll find it. But basically, what did he say? That they'll either come and confiscate the money, which is unrealistic. Is they're not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? Or the money is going to be worth nothing. And when I say money, I'm talking about the current currency that we're using now. He's saying that it's just going to be made obsolete. All right. And what's that going to cause if the money, out of nowhere is made obsolete, or if it's some type of a gradual, downward decline on the value of the dollar? What would that cause? That would cause chaos and pandemonium. You know what I'm saying? That's what that's going to cause, because now people are not going to be able to buy, whatever foods that they, wanted to buy. Or it's like not foods, but people won't be able to buy their essentials. And then when you factor in the food plants being blown up, all right, which is, these devils making the man-made famine. All right. When you factor in the supply chain crisis, when you factor in, the distribution crisis and things like that, guess what, man? It all ties together to the downfall of this kingdom. All right. And rightly so, man. OK, we can't wait to get out of here. This to us is like good news, man. It's going to be tough, going through it. It's going to be the hour of temptation, but it's still good news because it signifies that the hour of our redemption is nearer than we believed. All right. It's like the hour of our salvation. All right. Is nearer than we believed. OK, so let's see. What I'm saying? Another we could just keep on, going down with this until we finish it. All right. So verse 17. All right. It says the wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget the Most High. OK, because that's the current state of the world right now. People don't know Yahweh Shem Yahushai. They know about, the power of the Bible, the God of the Bible, but they don't know his true name. They don't know his son's name. They don't even know how they look like, man. And they got the doctrine, they got the truth in the scriptures. They got the understanding of the scriptures completely twisted. All right. Into thinking that they're, allowed to do, wicked things, eat pork and do wickedness. And that the Most High is still okay with it, man. Basically, they put in our book in a bad light, in a sense, but that's the state of the world that we live in, man. And that's really the world that, Esau wants, man. A world where Yahweh Shem Yahushai is not, a world where the Lord is not worshipped, is where the Lord is not reverenced, man. That's what he wants, because he wants to take all the glory, man. He wants to be the one that dictates, what goes for the world. Like what the guy said, if you subscribe to the, to the wrong social media, they're going to turn your thing off. So how could you push the truth in such a society? That's why it makes sense, man. If you even in that type of society, that means that you took the, you took the CHIP. you know, and then when you take that, you know, that's it for your ass, man. All right, that's basically it, man. You're gonna be destroyed, okay? Because really, you know, there's no reason to, you know, be in that type of society in the first place, man. Because once you, you know, how do I say? Once you consent, you know, and accept to take the CHIP and partake in this devil's, you know, new enterprise, you know, you're basically submitting to him completely. You know, you're submitting to him as he's your God, your power. You know, and that's like an ultimate form of idolatry. You know what I'm saying? That's like an ultimate form of going against Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So it makes sense that, you know, that those that take the CHIP, you know, that they're gonna be thrown, you know, into the lake of fire, which is the second death, which is America being destroyed by ICBM thermonuclear missiles, man. All right, I'm gonna read this again, or not again, but I'm gonna continue on. It says, verse 18: "For the needy shall not always be forgotten, and the expectation of the poor shall not perish forever." All right, that's going into, you know, the elect that's waiting on Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai to deliver them, man. Lord willing, we're of that number. You know, Lord willing, He deliver us. Verse 19: "Arise, O Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, let not man prevail. Let the heathen be judged in thy sight. Put them in fear, O Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, that the nations may know themselves to be but men." Because Esau is the one leading leading this, you know, this wickedness, man. All right, he's the one that's doing this, you know, and the proof is if you is watching these other nations too. You know what I'm saying? That's the proof. Because okay, you have China, for example, right? China, what are they about to do? They about to take over Taiwan, because Taiwan is one of the main producers of CHIP technology. Now, if the so-called Chinese, which their true biblical nationality is Moab, all right, if they were on their own thing, if they weren't following after Esau, they'd have their own little, you know, their own little system in place, you know. But because all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of fornication of this kingdom, you know, this Western society, Western philosophies, you know, and with that, you know, the economic, certain economic systems, you know what I'm saying? You know, they're what are they doing? They banking on this, you know, CHIP technology, so they want to take over Taiwan for that. You know, he also showed, you know, the man that was talking, you know what I'm saying, that did the video. You know, he also said, like, they, you know, certain of these countries, they have, you know, these things put in place, you know, where they want to turn the currency into spyware, you know, and that's, you know what I'm saying, where this devil, you know, has that delusion where he wants to be as the Most High. All right. And that's also stated here in the book of Isaiah chapter 14. And I'm gonna go to verse 13. All right. And it reads, "For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High." Okay. And that's his mentality. He wants to surpass the Lord, man. All right. "And I will sit upon the mount of the congregations in the sides of the north. All right. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High." Okay. So you see, this is an enterprise, man. This is what he wants to roll out with, man. All right. And so far, man, hey, everything that we've been, you know, saying throughout the years, all right, starting with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone on down, is coming to pass, man. All right. Because in such a system, do you really think if you don't take that CHIP, do you really think you'll be able to partake, you know, and be a part of such system, right? Where everything is going to be controlled for you? No, man. All right. It starts by taking the CHIP. That's the sign of submission. You know, it's deeper than just, you know, getting something, you know, injected into your palm, man. It's deeper than that. It's a spiritual thing. It's a sign of submission. You know, it's a sign of obeisance. It's worshiping and submission, you know, which actually that's what, you know, worshiping the beast goes into. All right. So matter of fact, let's go into that, man. All right, so let's start with the book of Revelations chapter 13. Yeah, we may be, broken records, you know what I'm saying? But this to, for truth's sake, man. All right, just to build the point off. So Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, and it reads, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right, so that mark, that's being spoken of here is talking about the CHIP. All right, and that's, and it can't be anything other than that, man. It can't be anything other than that device. Because if you go into the not the Hebrew, the Greek, all right, the word for mark, all right, what's the word? Charagma, okay? And then when you go and you go further into it, the root word, all right, what's that? Charax, which is a pale, a stake, or palisade, something sharp, man. All right, so what is that describing? It's describing something sharp that's being put, and necessarily, or not necessarily, but for lack of a better term, stabbed into somebody's hand or their forehead. So how do you stab how do you stab Christianity? How do you stab an embargo? How do you stab marrying the so-called white woman in someone's right hand or their forehead, man? Those are the ones that I heard so far. But you got, these other camps out here, man. They trying to, they leading their congregations astray, man. They don't got the juice, man. They don't got the truth. If they're not saying that, what's written here in Revelations 13:16 is the CHIP, they're not telling you the truth, man. And they're going to lead you to a ditch. All right. And that ditch is not a ditch you could climb out of, man. Once you take that, once you take that thing, man, it ain't something you could just climb out of. It ain't something you just pull out and that's it. No, man. That's it. You're done. Okay. Verse 17, that no man, and this is a key point, to build off the other point. All right. That no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. All right. And that's the system that they're building. Okay. The man that was breaking, the thing down. All right. He describes how they're going to control the people. So obviously they're going to make this thing mandatory. All right. This device, this CHIP, they're going to make it mandatory, man. Okay. And that's the type of society that this devil wants for the world, to be subservient unto him, so he could, gloat around, being as the Most High. But he's going to get taken down, though. All right. So going to the next point, it's the book of Revelations chapter 14. And we're going to start at verse 9. All right. And it reads, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, right, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High. Okay, so let's rewind real quick. We're going to go to verse 9, where it says, if any man worship the beast and his image. All right, so let's go on into the word worship, because, one of the things that the man, said, all right, was the fact that they want, they want to control and kind of like herd the people, into doing and partaking in whatever philosophies, trends, movements, that these devils want them to do, and if they're caught, going against the grain, what I'm saying, they're going to turn their money off. Also too, this also indicates, a class system, because it shows how, he said, okay, well, if you want to, keep your car, and they turn off your ability to get gas, that's going to force you to get an electric car. Or if you want to buy, real meat, but they turn off your ability, to buy the real meat, and that's going to force you, to buy fake plant-based meats. So that also indicates a class system, man. Where some, people are not going to be allowed to have what other people have. All right. And that's just completely wicked, man. It's completely wicked. And that's definitely, going to steepen the gap, between the different classes. And this is why such a system cannot be fulfilled, not necessarily fulfilled, but will not be lived out. All right, because this devil wants that full control. He really think he's gonna obtain that full control under the Most High, which he doesn't, recognize himself being under the Most High. He wants to be as the Most High, but he won't get taken out the way in the process of trying to be as the Most High. Because at the end of the day, everything this devil does is bootleg. So anyways, the word that we have for worship in Revelations chapter 14 and 9 in the Greek is proskuneo. All right. And you go into the definitions. The third definition is in the New Testament, by kneeling or prostration to do homage to one or make obeisance. All right. Now that word obeisance, okay, is going into obedience. It's synonymous with obedience. All right. It says whether in order to express respect or to take supplication. All right. So, you know what I'm saying? Obeisance, having people under obedience is one of the main goals, these devils, man. And that's why the scripture says, if any man worship the beast and his image, if you're under, if you're over here obeying, these agendas that these devils are going to roll out with, right? Which if you do that, you're obviously going to receive the CHIP, whether it be in your hand or your forehead. All right, what's going to happen to you? The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High. All right, of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, it's his real name, of the Heavenly Father. And his only begotten Son is Yahushai. All right, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. Okay, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. All right, so, that's what's going to happen, for you people. All right, and I say you people because it's not just you Jakes, man. It's everybody, you know what I'm saying? But really you Jakes, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me rewind that, scratch you people, you know what I'm saying? That's mainly, for you tribes, man. You take that CHIP, you're done. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be destroyed. All right. And then when I said, you people, I was kind of referring to, the population in general, but this thing ain't for the other nations, man. You know what I'm saying? This thing is only for the children of the children of Israel. All right. So, scratch that, salak, slip of the tongue. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's the, what these devils are coming out with. That's why the scripture says, man, be sober. I'm gonna bring it out. Be sober. Let me see. Yep, right there. So the book of First Peter chapter 5 and 8. Be sober, be vigilant. All right, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. All right, so that's why, we got to be, standing here upon our watch, man. Looking out for news like this, little, headlines, not necessarily headlines, but, updates such as this. He said by 2023 or 2024, they're going to roll out and initiate this thing. They're going to roll out and implement it. So that means that, that CHIP is getting ready to be, ushered out, into the and pushed on the society, which means, a calamity, might be, near, something big, something that's going to cause these people to do that. Because ultimately, man, the people, the population, as we see it, all right, right now, like in general, the general population here in Babylon, they're very, in the sense they're kind of rebellious, and they're not just going to go with, with the flow, even though they are like that in some parts. You're gonna have people that, are adverse and oppose the idea of having, a device, put into them. You know what I'm saying? So what this devil is gonna do is create a desire for it. He's gonna create it was a word for it. You know what I'm saying? But basically, he's gonna make it a necessity. Where he's gonna, destroy the current system. All right. And in a broken system, he's gonna come in with the solution. And therefore, people will have no choice but to come to the solution, but to accept the solution, which is to submit by him, take his device, you know, and conform to whatever, you know, he wants them to conform to. You know what I'm saying? And that's why this devil's going to be taken out the way, man. You know, he's just, you know what I'm saying? He's just taking it, you know, he's just outdoing himself at this point. You know, overstayed his welcome, as I heard, you know, a lot of brothers, you know, put it in, you know, because he served his purpose. The only purpose he was meant to serve was to punish us, you know, being in slavery. You know what I'm saying? But now, you know, we in slavery, he think he not gonna, you know, he's not gonna be taken down. You know, that he's gonna be able to stay in his position and continue, you know, to rule the world in wickedness, but that's not gonna happen. All right, as we read in the book of Psalms, you know, chapter 9. All right, that's not what's gonna happen. Okay, so hey, Lord willing, you know, this was an edifying lesson. All right, you know what I'm saying, going into the video, you know, the hour of temptation, you know, is near, man. You know, be strong, you know, in these times. All right, stay prayed up, you know, stay sober and stay vigilant, man. All right, so with that, I'm going to say, call halal, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rechah HaKudash, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson, or willing this lesson was edifying. With that, I'm going to say, Shalom, on to the next.